Boruto 2 Blue Vortex Chapter 16 is officially out. Without any further delay, let's jump right into the video. Ida is on the cover page looking absolutely beautiful, and the title of the chapter is The Singularity of Fate. The text on the cover is a reverse of Shakespeare's quote, "Love looks not with the eyes but with the mind." It means that you shouldn't love someone for their looks, but you should love them for their personality and what's within. But here, on cover eyes and mind, is reversed, representing Ida's omnipotence, which caused charm ability, making everyone her captives, as well as Boruto and Kawaki's role reversal. Also, this foreshadows what happened in the chapter, Sumire lashing out at Sarada for hugging Boruto. The chapter starts with a flashback of Koji explaining Boruto's version of the flying raijin to Boruto using his shinjutsu prescience. He is actually watching future Boruto train as he is telling Boruto of 2 years ago. This scene parallels Jiraiya helping Minato to complete his Rasengan from the Minato one-shot manga. Koji explains that space-time ninjutsu is one of the basic abilities of Otsutsukis, just like flying. But Boruto used this on a fluke previously, as we have seen against Ishiki. In roughly 6 years, Boruto will invent a certain elevated version of space-time ninjutsu, which will allow him to teleport using metal objects marked with his chakra, and that is flying raijin. We also got a Minato panel. Koji continues that this jutsu is not flying raijin, as Boruto doesn't know the jutsu, but using his Otsutsuki ability of space-time ninjutsu he achieved the same result as his grandfather's flying raijin. That is why Boruto named it as flying raijin in honor of Minato. Boruto uses symbols to make teleportation over longer distances easier. Basically, Boruto's drip is not just a fashion statement but also his weapons. Koji has given Boruto the knowledge that he would have acquired over 6 years in just a few minutes, but he still needs to train in order to master the technique. This clears it up for the fans who thought Boruto didn't need to train now that Koji got this new ability. But Koji can just give him theoretical knowledge. Boruto still needs to apply it practically with training. While talking to Koji, Boruto teleports to a tree by throwing a shuriken, showing he has already begun mastering the jutsu. Kashin Koji reveals new concept called the Singularity of Fate, which is also the title of the chapter. Basically, a being who is aware of the multiple possible futures in detail and makes the future more unstable becomes a singularity. Hence, it is better to keep the number of singularities lower, or else the prescience ability will become useless. Koji is aware of Ida watching them, hence, Ida, Koji, and Boruto have become singularities of fate, and their job as singularities is to support the future from the shadows. Ida was watching because of Sarada, but she understood what Koji asked and did not reveal anything about the future, and the catfight between Sarada and Sumire begins. It was so intense that Damon also woke up to hear it. Jokes aside, back and forth was really good. Sumire was saying they should not interfere with Boruto until he asks for it. Sarada was saying they should help him as he is not powerful enough to fight with the Shinju as he got shot. But Sumire counters that he got shot because we were there, so we should not get involved with Boruto. But it was actually Kawaki due to which Boruto was shot, but she was on to something. Comment below on who you support in this scenario. It was a good argument until Sumire made it about herself and called out Sarada for hugging her crush right in front of her. Yes, she had told Sarada that it bothers her when other girls might like Boruto in part 1. I am also annoyed at everyone still calling her class rep. Ida's reaction to this exchange was really funny and relatable. I kind of felt the same. Next, the feudal lord and village elders talk about Boruto's escape, and the feudal lord says he will make the respective people responsible. This is the same feudal lord that we have seen in the Majina Bandits arc. Shikamaru talks with Ida in person to avoid the convo getting logged in sensory units data, and now Ino is also not helping him. But facing Ida makes his thoughts muddy because of her charm ability. Ida informs him about Ryu and his target, Gaara. Ida revealed that she cannot watch the Shinju live or in real time as Mamushi can see her watching them via Senrigan, but they're not sure if it's some sort of ability. This is a huge limitation, as they can only see the movements of the Shinju after a few hours of gap. Next, Ida calls out Shikamaru for helping Boruto, but he straight up refuses it. She says she won't snitch to Konoha, as it won't be bad for her as well if Shikamaru loses his position, and she doesn't want to cause Boruto any trouble, and informs that Kawaki also agreed to team up with Boruto to take down the Shinju. Shikamaru asks Ida if she has seen Boruto's accomplice, and he has figured out it's Kashin Koji, and a toad appears out of Ida's hair. Koji applauds Shikamaru via the toad. Koji tells Shikamaru to send Konohamaru, Sarada, and Natsuki to the Sand Village, and he does the same later in the chapter. Also asks him to not send Himawari out of the village as she is bound to run into Jura. And Jura won't attack inside village as he holds culture of Konoha to be of high value. Probably he read pervy sages make out tactics. Also asks that they should treat Jura as any ordinary customer if he visits any bookstore or anything. Basically, Jura got the subscription to all the Konoha bookstores. Shikamaru thinks it's some kind of joke, but Toad says, nope, Jura is built like that. Koji continues, the most important thing is to not provoke him. If we truly anger him, we have no chance of winning, absolutely none. Koji suggests that we will take out his allies with minimum force, and if Jura shows up, immediately run. This is scary because Koji might have seen one of the futures where Jura absolutely destroys everybody. While leaving, Toad thanks Shikamaru for helping Boruto escape and asks, just like this, keep following your heart. This might mean that once again something will happen when Shikamaru has to go against the village to help Boruto, or do something that is right. Coming back, Toad leaves and Shikamaru says his iconic line, what a drag, and starts smoking. Ida repeats the line, follow your heart, huh? Basically, she might also do something for Boruto instead of Kawaki. Sumire is regretting what she said, and we move to Sand Village. Sarada, Natsuki, and Konohamaru have arrived in the Sand Village. Both Sarada and Natsuki are wearing headbands. Sarada is wearing an old headband as it has to be tied up. New ones are stretchable headbands. Sarada is still thinking about what Sumire said. Even Natsuki catches that something's wrong. Yodo and Araya, Shinki's teammates and adoptive siblings, greet them. Shikamaru has given them coordinates of the Shinju's location. Later Matsuri and Ryu killed a toad, so basically Koji might have given them the exact address. Yodo says to Sarada that your aura has changed. You into a boy? Which Sarada cannot answer. But what she is saying is that Sarada is wearing a men's jacket, as Ikemoto-sensei revealed during their interview in France, which I have fully covered in this video. He said that Sarada misses Boruto. That's why she buys clothes from the same clothing brand as Boruto used to wear when he was in the village. Coming back, Yodo says it doesn't matter, and Konohamaru finds the Shinju. Ryu and Matsuri are looking at the dead toad. Ryu asks what's with the toad. On the last page, Konohamaru says, damn it, there's two of them. Matsuri answers Ryu that this is a clue that'll lead to Boruto, and the chapter ends. This was another solid setup chapter. In fact, the last 3 chapters have been transitional or setup chapters for the upcoming big battle. This chapter will mark the end of Volume 4, so from the next chapter, it will be action-packed. Comment below with your thoughts on the chapter, and we will meet in the next one.